Hello everyone, and welcome to week 28 of my no-buy year. And the time has come to address perhaps what is the number one problem with no-buy. So a couple of comments recently helped me realize this major pitfall of the no-buy year. Now I was kind of dancing around this already, feeling that kind of niggling suspicion that something was not quite right, and the sense that showing stuff in my videos was somehow not exactly in line with my values of what I'm trying to do here. Hence the disclaimers about anytime I show stuff and do that stuff-focused, possibly hypocritical content. I will say that I was genuinely helped by examining my stuff, decluttering my stuff, interacting with the things that I did used to overbuy. And I can't promise that I'll never do videos like that again on this channel. It still is a helpful practice, I do believe, to interact with your stuff, appreciate what you have, analyze why you bought it, analyze why some of it might not work. I do think that reflecting on your stuff is a somewhat unavoidable part of this process. But the focus of no-buy is still stuff. The challenge of a no-buy year is to not buy stuff. And this focus on stuff was probably the largest part of your initial problem, right? If you have a shopping problem or have had a shopping issue in the past, your focus was on stuff, buying stuff, looking for stuff, wanting stuff, and planning your life around some aspect of stuff. That might be a little bit drastic, but certainly your behavior or some aspects of your behavior changed in relation to the stuff you saw and wanted and bought. I did do a video kind of early on about other things to focus on that weren't shopping and weren't stuff. I can link that up here. It was pretty early, so I don't think a lot of you have seen it, or a lot of people subscribed to my channel have necessarily seen it. I make a little guitar cameo, which I'm an amateur guitar player. I'm a professional viola player, so it's not that great. But in that video, I talked about activities and goals and things that were not shopping, not stuff-oriented. But also in some ways, that did feel kind of adjacent to my message of no-buy on here, because I guess part of the point is that if you can focus on that stuff that is not shopping, then you probably don't have a shopping problem, or you might be less likely to develop a shopping problem or to fall into those problematic habits because you're busy focusing on the other stuff. See what I mean? And therefore, you don't need to do a no-buy. You won't find yourself where I found myself at the end of last year when I decided that this year I would be trying a no-buy challenge. It's the old saying of don't think about pink elephants. And as soon as you say that, the pink elephant pops up in your mind. And then here you got the conundrum. And then to add the extra layer of not thinking about the pink elephant, if I'm here on a no-buy channel trying to not think about stuff and buy stuff, and I'm showing stuff, it's like I'm telling you, don't think about the pink elephant, and I show you a pink elephant while I say that right here. Now, can you not think about the pink elephant? It becomes extra impossible. So I do hope that I have not influenced you to buy anything that I've shown. And once again, I do find reflecting on my stuff a genuinely helpful part of this process of my no-buy year. So I'm at a little bit of an odds with how to go forward with this. And I will continue to have stuff disclaimers and try to be clear even in the titles or thumbnails perhaps. But it's not a clear-cut path forward for me. But I do want to acknowledge that perhaps this is the number one problem with the phenomenon or the challenge of a no-buy year, is that the focus on the stuff is actually what you were trying to get away from in the first place. So I think my goal next year, I had mentioned already, I think, in a video maybe 2 weeks ago, that I was thinking about doing another no-buy year after this one, because this one has not gone that well as far as I've bought stuff that was on my list of things not to buy. I have not succeeded. But the thing is, I guess to do a no-buy in the most true sense, I need to be doing it without being on a no-buy. Hopefully you get what I'm trying to say here. So next year the goal is still to not buy any stuff that I don't need, but I don't want to have to be on a no-buy year to achieve that. And perhaps the only way to really succeed is to not be on the no-buy and not have that much focus going to the specific stuff. Commentaries on stuff as a whole and consumer culture and shopping in general, I think, is a slightly different thing. So that is the number one problem with the no-buy. If you can think of a more number one problem with the no-buy, please let me know. I don't claim that this is really the only problem with the no buy. I just, had to be a little bit clickbaity with my title, or wanted to be just for kicks and giggles, since I am posting on a platform of social media, and sometimes you play the game if you feel like it. Anyway, just to be even more cheeky, next week I think I'm going to try to do the number one reason no buy works, or no buy is helpful. So if you want to see that, subscribe if you weren't already, or just come back and watch if you feel like it. I think that's all I have for you today. Let me know your thoughts down below. I always love to read them. And I will see you in the next one. Bye for now. Okay, but did you think about pink elephants?